Okay, guys. Good morning. It is Friday. PPI inflation data day today. I've been honestly up and down since 2 a.m. this morning. I woke up at 2 a.m., could not go back to sleep. And it took me about 2 hours to go back to sleep. I went back to sleep at 4 a.m. It is now 6 a.m. my time. But I'm up. I'm here. Guys, we have PPI inflation data today to talk about. And yeah, I'm here. PPI inflation data today. CoreWeave reacting really negatively to earnings. Again, CoreWeave disappointed. The revenue was good, up 110% year over year, basically in line with expectations, but their margins were bad. EPS loss, wider than expected. Adjusted EBITDA missed street numbers. Q1 revenue guidance came in well below the consensus for CoreWeave. You can see it on the left side. Netflix is up. And you guys know I'm in Netflix right now. I've been buying Netflix for the last few days, or for the last few months, really, I should say. Netflix is up big after they walked away from the Warner Bros. Deal. And so Warner Bros. Discovery had signed a deal with Netflix that included a $2.8 billion termination fee owed to Netflix if Warner Bros. Walked away. And so again, Paramount upped their offer and effectively won Warner Bros. So Paramount will most likely move forward now as long as they get approval and all that stuff. And they will own Game of Thrones. They will own DC, they will own DC. They will own Harry Potter. Own a lot of different assets. I actually think it's worse for Netflix in the long run, but since I'm in Netflix, I'm going to celebrate it. Again, Netflix is avoiding overpaying, what a lot of people consider overpaying for legacy studio assets after the market already hated the original bid they put in. They're set to collect about a $3 billion termination fee. Yeah. And so again, it's up about 7 to 10% this morning. You'll love to see it. Yeah, bro, I got up 2 a.m. today, 2 a.m. this morning. Could not go back to sleep, dude. And the more I wanted to go back to sleep, the more I could not go back to sleep. Again, Netflix is up. NASDAQ, again, looking pretty weak this morning, though. NASDAQ still looking pretty weak. Big red day yesterday. NASDAQ down under 25,000. And so NASDAQ is down. Again, this is heading into PPI inflation data today at 8:30, which could move a lot of different things. So we will see what we get. Downside for another few weeks. Yeah, what's up, Jonathan, Mike, Steve, Julie, George, Jay, Provo, Vegas, Han, Jim, Andy, Vegas, Cash, Arcane, VA, Cato, Yee, Steve, Brian, Powell, M, JJ, Bam Bam, Live, Ava, Keegan. What's up, guys? Good morning. Doug Muffin. What's up, dude? Matthew, Check, Ty. Chris, what's up, guys? Good morning. Again, Netflix up to $91 a share after walking away from the Warner Bros. Deal. Again, investors are celebrating it. You can kind of see Netflix. This news happened basically late yesterday on Netflix. Late yesterday is when we got the announcement of this. They popped all the way up to 95.60s. Again, CoreWeave down. PPI is expected to come in today at 0.3% today, guys. 0.3%. Yeah, taking a look at NVIDIA. I see some people mentioning NVIDIA. Here, I gotta fix this. Hold on. Let's do a poll here. There we go. Oh, does Netflix get back over 100 today after walking away? Ooh, I don't know. Does today's PPI inflation data go up higher or lower than the 0.3% expected month over month? Higher, lower, or even going to give an as expected option. Higher, lower, as expected. Let me know, guys. There's the poll. It is now live. Again, NVIDIA. Big red day yesterday for NVIDIA. That's one of the big stories of the day. And again, NVIDIA is giving back After its big earnings pop, and broader AI names, including C3 AI and other names that released over the last few days, are under pressure. Software names are still under pressure as well. Again, there's PMI data pending home sales in the morning, but the big one is PPI inflation data today. Put an offer on a house. Good luck, Tank. Hope you do good, brother. Netflix up because investors love such decisions. Yeah, it's better for margin short term, right? So them walking away from this huge deal is better for margins long term. Like, that's what this specifically is that they're walking away from this big deal that, again, ultimately it's better for their books long term. Help me feel better about CoreWeave. I'm trying to find something good to say about CoreWeave. I think long term CoreWeave will probably be fine. Short term, I have no freaking idea where this thing's going. All right, but long term, it might be good. It might be good. All right, that's about as good as I can say about it right now. Long term, it might be good. Short term, I have no idea what is going to happen to it. There's no always in markets, but yes, NVIDIA has a track record of that lately, and for good reason, in my opinion. Let's get another red day for altcoins, please. We need to finish the week strong. In phase. Yeah, the last house I purchased was a rental property, and I lowballed them. I was paid cash, and so I had the, luxury of being able to lowball them because cash is a more attractive offer for them. And so I came in, offered well below list. I did it like 6 or 7 times until somebody accepted it, because that was kind of my plan ahead of time. But we finally got one that accepted it. It's got tenants now, and it's doing great. So lowballing for the win. It wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't a disrespectful one, but still. Hey homie, why all the chop on the NASDAQ today? The NASDAQ choppy? I mean, NASDAQ's been chopping for a few days now. I would say we're just chopping from this big drop heading into PPI inflation. Like, in price structure, you got 3 different movement types. You have trending, you have uptrending, downtrending, and sideways trending. So yeah, right now, I mean, especially since yesterday, I would say it depends on the time frame you're looking at. On a 5-minute chart, since yesterday, we're sideways. But on a shorter term chart, if we zoom in a little bit here, we do have a downward trend right here, in terms of price structure on a shorter term perspective. Bro, where's my Epic pen? I just opened it. It's supposed to be opening. I don't know why it's not working. Weird. Friday's usually chopping because market makers get bears and bulls offside. Yeah, I mean, that's possible as well. We also could be chopping leading into PPI inflation data, because leading into big data releases, the market can sometimes move more apprehensively, if that makes sense, like more scared, because they're worried that the big data release is going to shake their positions. And so because of that, we sometimes get choppiness or just less volume because traders are scared. It's very possible, leading into PPI inflation data and more, that's what's kind of going on here. We also had a U.S. senator is planning to introduce 2 AI labor bills in the coming months, according to Axios. They said lawmakers are under increasing pressure to respond to fears that AI will upend the job market. And so basically 2 labor bills, maybe some restrictions on AI in the labor market. We'll see what that looks like in the coming months. And again, this is reported by Axios. Again, Axios is the one reporting this here. See if I can find more info on this. Yeah, so Schultz, Schatz. Is this dude's name Schatz? That's his name, guys. Yeah, but Brian Schatz from Hawaii is planning to introduce 2 AI labor bills in the coming months. His office exclusively told Axios. So Yeah. Blackstone and Brookfield are reportedly among bidders for Volkswagen's GY unit worth $8 billion as well. Yeah, gold and silver on the day here. Gold still kind of elevated, slightly green. But again, if we zoom out on a 5-minute chart, gold is very, very, very flat over the past little while. Look how sideways gold is. Very, very sideways. Very, very flat. Not really moving much. I think we can look at a range here. Here's a range. But actually, I'm going to make this 51.50 right here. And then we might have a tighter range somewhere along those lines as well. But this is basically the range. Put up a 15-minute chart. You can probably see it a little bit more clearly here. Very sideways for gold. Silver. Silver's trending a little bit better. It had a couple days of red, and now it's had a couple days of rebounding here. It's over $90 an ounce for silver, which is good. Yeah, I don't know what kind of restrictions. Like, companies are going to move for better margins with AI regardless. It's not really something that it's easy to stop. Companies are going to go with the most margin-friendly thing, and that's usually AI right now. And I think that's how it affects the AI market. I think that's what we're going to see in regards to the AI market is businesses fix their margins some, and, that means laying people off. And to a certain extent, we've seen celebrations from layoffs over the past few years, especially... like big tech announcing layoffs has made a lot of the big tech stocks go up and markets move up because of improved margins. Kind of similar to what you see today with Netflix and Warner Bros. Netflix walking away from the Warner Bros. Deal, and Netflix immediately shooting up 7-9% from that. Netflix is over $90 a share now. I'm in Netflix. Again, I'm going to keep bringing this up. I've been buying Netflix. You love to see it. I'm also going to be giving away some take profit accounts today, so be ready for that as well. We're about to put the unemployed in gyms and harness the power generated to power the robots taking the jobs. If I own a company, I'd rather get robots instead of people. I think it depends on the robots, to be honest, right? Like, this is all going to depend on the robot. Like, sure, if the robot is T2 Arnold versus T1 Arnold, sure, right? But it depends. It depends. Yeah, Netflix is getting paid $2.8 billion for walking away from the Paramount deal. $2.8 billion because Warner Bros. From the Warner Bros. Deal. Warner Bros. Basically already accepted Netflix's offer. And so for them to walk away, they have to pay Netflix almost $3 billion. $2.8 billion is what they have to pay. Now, it's still not set in stone yet, but yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin today, though, guys. Take a look at Bitcoin. Is there a siren in this song, or is that outside? I'm gonna beat this joke dry. I'm getting ready to go fight vampires in the 90s. Again, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin all the way down to 65,000 this morning. The Bitcoin tumbling down today. Look at Bitcoin down to 65,000. It had a nice pop up to almost 70,000, and now it's been downtrending since. It's down to 65,000, 65K. So Bitcoin not looking great. Not looking great. Down to 65,000 this morning. You don't love to see it. I made so much money on Netflix. Hey, cheers to you, my friend. I made money on Netflix as well. Cheers to you, bro. I did as well. You love to see it. You love to see it. Again, Netflix seemed pretty cheap in the 70s. It's Netflix. That's a post-split price or a pre-split price of like 700s when Netflix was at 1100s not that long ago. And so, yeah. Cheers to you, friend. Yesterday was a great day for day trading. I made 150%. 150% is great. Honestly, that's a great percentage. I wouldn't get used to that day trading. And I'm assuming your count has to be a little small if you're making 150%. But 150% is 150%. Good job. What a weird deal. Are they dumb to walk away regarding Netflix Paramount? So the thing going on with Netflix Paramount is that Warner Bros. Signed a deal with Netflix that included a $2.8 billion termination fee that is owed to Netflix if Warner Bros. Walks away. The Warner Bros. Board later deemed Paramount's higher all-cash offer superior. So they chose Paramount, terminated Netflix, and under the revised Paramount deal, Paramount agrees to cover that $2.8 billion fee. The Paramount's the one paying the Netflix fee. Effectively, Paramount pays Netflix and receives the termination cash. Pays and Netflix receives the termination cash, I mean. So Netflix didn't cancel its bid. Warner Bros. Switched to Paramount's better offer, is what happened. So now the $2.8 billion ends up in Netflix's hands, is essentially what happened. So Netflix is getting paid $2.8 billion, and investors are essentially celebrating that they don't have to spend all that money on Warner Bros. Is what this is. I mean, Oracle's down on the day with all the other tech and AI names that we see. I'm actually up pretty nicely on the day. I mean, Netflix, Amazon, Apple. But Netflix is obviously the one treating me best. Netflix and PayPal. Oh, I put $500 up and made $750. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, small account, I figured. Honestly, I think it would have been better for Netflix long term if they kept this deal just based off of the brands they would own. But obviously, it's going to be tighter cash on them short term if they did. And so it's better for Netflix short term, worse long term, in my opinion. But that's always subjective, and it depends on how whatever company that's doing this is able to execute everything moving forward, right? Like how they're able to prop those brands up and so forth and so on. I think it would have been better for Netflix long term if they went through with the deal, but short term it's better margins for them. They're spending less money, and so that's kind of what we see here. That's my opinion of it. But what's Netflix's competition that comes close? Hulu, Paramount, HBO, Amazon Prime. PPI mother should show up at 1%. Inflation is insane right now. So 46% voted higher on the poll. And the poll, again, is today's PPI inflation show higher or lower than 0.3% expected. Higher or lower. 46% say higher. 28% say lower. 25% say as expected. And again, Netflix apparently, according to Steve, was facing regulators regarding streaming dominance too and probably just wanted to be over with. Yeah, that makes sense. I use YouTube 10x more than Netflix. I use YouTube a lot. And I think short form content has taken over the world. And I don't necessarily think this is a good thing because short form content, the context changes happen too quickly. It's bad for you. It's worse for you. But the whole world is doing it now. And so it's hard to unseat yourself from it, I think. But if we're talking about watching things together as a family, obviously TV's better. It's hard to, my son loves YouTube and watches YouTube too, but yeah. Yeah, PPI is the producer price index inflation metric here. Yeah, so again, CoreWeave getting hit. Look at CoreWeave, guys. And again, the NASDAQ here. Like, we're in a downward trend right now. I really wanted to short this 200 exponential on the NASDAQ. I just didn't quite catch it, to be honest. I didn't quite catch it. We have the really nice structure here, I think, of a downward trend, a confirmed downward trend. We have the 200 exponential rejections. We have a break under the 200 exponential and then a rebound back up, setting that structure up. And again, the trend would change just based off of market structure. The trend would change, just to put this in perspective, if we're right here and we start to move back up over the volume weighted 200 exponential, especially this level here. If we break over this level and hold, that's a market structure change. That means we're switching to either an upward trend or a sideways trend after that. But we had really nice confirmed downtrend here. I should have taken advantage of it because honestly, the NASDAQ is trending pretty nicely here. Like if I draw, like look. Now, let me I might have to fix this bottom one and make it a little wider. So look. Just a really nice trend right there. Don't they have a parallel? I like the parallel one. Hold on. I don't know if TOS does it. Yeah, they do. All right. Yeah. Really nice trend. Really nice trend. And if I extend this one to the right, look at that. We ran right into it. No, honestly, in hindsight, I wish I would have taken advantage of this. 5-minute chart looks a little bit better too. So come back to that. But NASDAQ still breaking down 24,950s on the NQ. 24,950s. Yeah, let me check some breaking news here. Nothing too big there. Yeah, so we'll do a giveaway and other stuff later. I'll try to get it set up. The way I always like to do giveaways is I tell people to type something, and the first person that I see type it on my end, and it has to be on my end. I'll say like a random word or letter. The first person to type it wins. We're gonna do this later on, so stick around though. Again, are you guys bullish or bearish on the day today? Bullish or bearish on the day? Let me know. NASDAQ's red, Netflix is green, Oracle's red, CoreWeave is red, Alphabet's slightly red, Meta red, Microsoft red. Most software names are red. NVIDIA is definitely red, but it's not a crazy amount. It's only slightly. Bearish. Bearish, bullish, bearish, yeah, bear. Yeah, the Iran news is kind of scaring markets as well. We had a lot of news yesterday around them, and they definitely dropped markets some. Yeah, so Ted Cruz said forces are likely to carry out limited strikes on Iran in a matter of days, stressing the regime is weaker than ever and urging him to seize the urging the president to seize the moment. At the same time, U.S.-Iran nuclear talks in Geneva ended with only partial progress, and markets reacted with classic risk-off move. Oil premium is higher. If you look at oil today, it's still pretty freaking elevated. Up to almost $67 a barrel for oil. You can see it on the left side of the screen. This is oil here, oil futures. So big movements up in oil today on that premium of war. It's called a war premium, is what it's called. Again, we have U.S. manufacturing PMI data for February coming out today as well. We have PPI inflation data Japanese CPI data. Let me see. And again, U.S. lawmakers are reportedly eyeing tax changes to address institutional investors in housing, according to Semaphore. And again, I don't agree with everything the president does, for sure. But I'm for less businesses going around buying residential properties. Yeah, between Iran and it being Friday, I see red. Yeah, I mean, of course, because the war is the most profitable thing ever. Short everything. Yeah, again, honestly, I was surprised at how many bears showed up. So we asked people, are they bull or bearish here? Let me see. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus bears, 10 bears. Yeah, I'm sorry. Wars are bullish. How's this Netflix shares, John? Hey, Keith, you know it. I'm loving life today with Netflix. You love to see it. Honestly, this is what happened. I saw the news yesterday and forgot about it this morning. When I looked at the market this morning, I'm assuming my portfolio is red because the market's red. Most Mag 7 stocks are red today. And then I saw Netflix. Netflix is the, shining part of my portfolio today. Cheers to anybody holding it with me. You love to see it. You love to see it. Was Michael Burry right? Not yet. The drops aren't significant enough yet. And really, Netflix or NVIDIA's earnings were good. So NVIDIA had pretty good earnings, actually. So NVIDIA earnings were decent. Look at NVIDIA fall down here, though. So NVIDIA actually dipping down right now at 184s. So look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's actually down. Look at this drop. So NVIDIA's down today. Look at NVIDIA drop here, chat. So NVIDIA's actually down to 184s right now. I think it's too early for Burry to celebrate. Bro, my mic is acting weird. NVIDIA always drops after earnings. It's going down more. Yeah, look at NVIDIA drop. It's under 184s right now. 184s down. Under 184s. And again, we do have PPI inflation data. Let me get a timer going here. I see my timer isn't live yet. All right, guys. Look at NVIDIA still dropping. 183.70s right now as we speak here. 183.70s for NVIDIA. Still down pretty significantly. So yeah, we are dropping pretty significantly here now. Again, I'm getting my timer set up, so bear with me, chat. Bear with me. Again, NVIDIA's starting to pop a little bit here. We have 800 people here already. We got 45 minutes. Something else going on. Instead of buying NVIDIA 10 to 15%. I think the guy that shorted NVIDIA is making money. Which one? Burry? Is it Burry or Blurry, guys? Let me know. Burry was hundreds of millions underwater for years for housing market play. This isn't his first rodeo. You can't time a crash. You have to be comfortable being underwater. Yeah, but if you're too early, you're wrong. Again, Burry didn't intentionally get in too early on the mortgage crash. Now, at the same time, you did have some sketchiness going on in those markets for sure. But it is something where he was really early, and he certainly didn't mean to be. And so, but if you're too early, you're still wrong. So it's yeah. Yeah, so if you're too early, you're still wrong. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if you're too early, you're still wrong. All right, guys, look at NVIDIA. Still break down. It's at 183s. He became self-made billionaire investor by being wrong. No. Again, I like Michael Burry, and Michael Burry will slap me with his wallet if he needs to, because it's definitely much bigger than my wallet. But Michael Burry has called about 15 market crashes over the last 20 years. And again, I'm not going to ask you to test it, but look back, have we crashed 20 times? You know? And I like Michael Burry, but he overpredicts market crashes. I think this is incredibly obvious if you look back at the history of it. And I can't even blame Burry for it. You know why you can't blame him for it? Is because he was right in 2008. His friend sued him, even though he made his friend billions of dollars. Everybody basically criticized him when he was right the whole time. And so I understand Burry being skeptical. I do. I genuinely understand Burry being skeptical. But it also doesn't take away from the fact that Michael Burry predicted about 15 market crashes over the last 20 years. 15 to 20 market crashes. And I've seen some of them. Oil just spiked again. NVIDIA still breaking down. Actually, 22 market crashes. Those are rookie numbers. I like a good Super Troopers quote. You know? All right, guys, here we go. Remove this. NVIDIA will hold 182. Where's the bottom on NVIDIA short term? NVIDIA still breaking down. And NVIDIA over 190s after earnings. And again, still dropping here, still dropping. The NASDAQ, again, we will trade the NASDAQ a little bit on the day, but NASDAQ is down to 24,918. 24,918. Again, if we look at social media, Burry has been posting over the last few weeks. Then again, today's a big day. We got PPI inflation data. Again, PPI inflation data. Again, we're also going to be doing a take profit giveaway later. Jim Cramer says, will the rotation continue and how to play it on the call? The Swiss economy minister about an hour ago said it's important to strengthen economic cooperation at times of global tensions. We had CoreWeave earnings yesterday as well, and they did not react well. They are down to $85 a share on lower guidance is really what this was. Lower guidance. But again, NVIDIA is the big story of the day, dropping markets. NVIDIA, and I would say Netflix, and NVIDIA, again, breaking down here. Breaking down. Dragging the NASDAQ down with it. So we'll see what happens here, but a block. What y'all think is going to flip green today? Good morning, friends. What's up, Sam? Fleshing out those calls. What's up, Kay? Jason, U.S. Embassy in Israel urges non-emergency staff to leave country due to safety risks. What will move the market higher, PPI or lower? I think what's going to move the market is going to depend on how big over-under expectations we get today for PPI inflation data. So if we look at the expectations today, again, another thing down, just to put this into perspective, Bitcoin. Look at Bitcoin dropping right now, guys. Bitcoin dropping. Down to 65 cents. Again, expectations today. Very important. Very important. Expectations for PPI inflation data. 0.3%. 3% on the year for core. 0.3% for headline and core month over month. And on the year, it's expected at 2.6 for headline and 3% for core. Big one for PPI is always month over month. And then, again, these are producer prices, wholesale prices. And again, we can take a look at some of these graphs here. Again, you can kind of see some of these last readings for PPI inflation data. Again, last is headline PPI month over month change up until last year. And again, this is the January reading month over month. Last time was 0.5%. We'll see if we show up anywhere around there. But again, the big story is NVIDIA breaking down after earnings again. And again, if we take a look at treasury yields this morning, I don't think I've taken a look at them. They are under 4% this morning. Under 4% on all the stuff going on. Again, yields are down. Again, look how significantly yields are down since earlier, yesterday. Look, we dropped all the way from 4.05 to 4.398. So we are under 4% for treasury yields right now. Treasury yields are under 4%. This is the lowest since late November. So again, yields are down, lowest since late November here. If we look at rate odds for the Fed, again, it's looking pretty likely we're still going to pause interest rates next month. But it's looking more, we're up about 4%. So again, at about 4% likely of a rate cut. All this weakness just makes people panic a little bit and unload. What happens is that bond prices on a risk off move get bought up and yields, bond prices and yields inverse. Okay, so if bond prices go up from a lot of people buying them, yields go down. What if lower PPI? Lower PPI is generally good. Business prices can sometimes get passed on to consumers, so lower PPI is good in general. COMEX silver contracts in today. I'm staying well away from it. COMEX only has about 30% of physical silver. Yeah. Yeah, possibly, Pew. If it does, we'll see market movements here. But it could go down this weekend. Again, Americans reportedly left Iraq extensively through Baghdad International Airport in the past 24 hours. So, yeah, we even had a Chinese embassy saying in Israel they asked nations to strengthen security precautions and preparedness. So, a lot of stuff going down here. If you're just now joining us, again, we are going to be doing a take profit giveaway later on today. But man, NVIDIA breaking down here. I probably will short the NASDAQ. But again, we have 35 minutes until the data comes out. 35 minutes. My timer is kind of acted off today. My timer's not working. Very strange. I might have to go with old school timer here if this one keeps not working. Doesn't show up. Weird. Is AI in a bubble right now? Put yes or no in chat. Yeah, so New York Times and a few others running fear stories. Even 40%. Yeah, at least the chat is. So this is where we're split on AI. Some people are really bullish on AI, short term and long term. They're optimistic. They're buying these pullbacks in tech that we've seen over the last few weeks. And others are hyper worried about a crash, overcorrections, or hyper worried about crashes, corrections, and overvaluations. I mean, yeah, I can't do a poll here. I want to keep it PPI related because we have about 30 minutes until PPI drops. Hold on. Oh man, throw this up. Too much money being circled around Anthropic in a battle with the Department of War. We only have PPI news today. We have PPI and a couple other things. Again, if we look at this, today we have PPI inflation data, construction spending, Chicago PMI, and more. Again, 0.3% is what's expected. Core, I'm showing is 0.4%, but I see a lot of other places basically have PPI at 0.3%. And so, again, the Al Udeid Air Base is now all evacuated. Again, so I'm seeing sources that say they can confirm some of the evacs, by the way. Been happening for the last week. Is the rumblings that I'm seeing here. And again, treasury yields are down. NVIDIA breaking down. I've had a couple people ask me to mention Palantir today. Palantir was green. It's breaking down with everything else in tech and AI as we speak. So, but again, NVIDIA just broke lows of the day now. Look at NVIDIA right here. So NVIDIA, wait. Look at NVIDIA right there. NVIDIA is breaking down right now. Break it down. Look at it. It's down to 183.60s. 183.60s. It was at 190 plus after earnings. I think it even tapped 200, didn't it? Yeah, it went up to 200 after earnings. Now down to 183.60s as the AI and tech worries continue. Another question I have for you guys. Is it time to buy Netflix today? Is it time to buy Netflix? Netflix walked away from the Warner Bros. Deal. They got paid a $2.8 billion walk-away fee from Paramount. It was originally Warner Bros. Was supposed to pay it to him, but Paramount is now going to pay him, as Warner Bros. Basically said they are going with Paramount's better cash offer. So Netflix went up 7 to 9% this morning. I am in Netflix. It's at $91 a share again, which is a pre-split price of $910. You know, I love to see it. I love to see it as NVIDIA breaks down here. You know, as NVIDIA breaks down, a little scary in markets right now. A little scary. Again, look at NASDAQ down to 24.9s. Although, you know, just to put this in perspective here, the NASDAQ is basically back in the same range it's been in for weeks. So it's not like the NASDAQ is crashing or anything. Like, here's a 4-hour chart. You can see the range a little bit more clearly here. Bro. Where's my... Dude. I swear, bro. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say. Where's my pen? Anyways, here's the range. You can see it. We've been in this range for a minute now between the NASDAQ, between 26.4s, all-time highs up here at 26.4s, and lows at 24.2s. Really, you can maybe call it 23.9s. I'm just going to call this actually 24,000. Between 24,000 and 26.4s. We've been in a low area since then. I'll put a timer up, but it's got to be my old school timer because my other timer weird today. But that's kind of cool. I like my OG timer. We have 30 minutes left, chat. 30 minutes left. It's not as cool of a timer as my last one, but that's okay. I can stick it right here, and it works. I don't like Netflix. Industry has too much competition, so I don't think they can keep the growth up. I don't know, man. I think that might be true, honestly. But honestly, like I said, I think Netflix should have stuck with the deal. It hurt them maybe short term, but benefited them long term. Are we buying the dip today? There's something like 5,000 plus companies coming out with AI. And remember, in the dot-com crash, Alan Greenspan famously did his speech called Irrational Exuberance. He did it. He said this speech, and then 4 years later, the market crashed. 4 years. But it took 4 years after basically he assumed that there's a lot of irrational exuberance. Basically, irrational exuberance basically means non-logical passion about markets, you know, and specifically at the time it was the dot-com boom. Today, a lot of people are correlating, or they're saying there's mirroring in then versus now with AI versus web and internet stuff back then. And so the point is, Burry could be right, but if he's too early, it's still going to be risky. Still going to be risky. A German inflation rate showed up at 1.9% versus 2% expected, so a little bit lower inflation there. And again, NVIDIA is bouncing up a little bit. NASDAQ still in this pretty sideways range, although again, the NASDAQ is now under 25,000. And so a level I'm watching on the NQ is 25K right here. I think that level makes a lot of sense. We have the break of structure area right here. If we get over this, we're now either sideways or trend changing. Oil's pumping on potential fears about strikes over the weekend. And so that is why oil's pumping up. Gold is running. Yeah, I mean, gold is going to benefit from a lot of this stuff just from uncertainty. Although gold has been in a pretty sideways range if you look at this as well. Look at the range on gold. So gold hasn't really done too much either. Since it went up to 52.60s and then fell back to 51s, and then so the last week, gold, silver's a little more trendy than gold is, but markets have already lost software and financials. If they lose chips too, then the market is done for a little while. If we crash, I'm gonna be there to buy it up. The people who typically do the worst in market crashes, it's not the people that get out ahead of the time. It's people who get out after the big drops. Like basically we drop 20, 30% and then the people get nervous and then they sell. And then over the next year or two, we rebound back up from those drops. And a lot of people are sitting there holding 30, 40% losses. Those are generally the people that do worse. The people that do the best are people that say, hey, the market's dipping. It's time to buy. Let's dollar cost average long term. And they generally do great. You know, in 2020, I bought the dip. A lot of people hated on me at the time. This was 6 years ago. But I remember I bought UNH. Or no, not UNH. I bought UAL is what I bought. And I bought it at $40 a share. It is now at $114 a share. But I had so many people hate on me. I bought it literally right here. I made a video about it and everything. And then people made fun of me, called it garbage picks. Said my picks were terrible. You know, I bought UAL. I bought Uber at $20. I remember I bought, what was it? It's, Hilton that I bought? I think it was Hilton. No, it was, it wasn't Hilton. It was another hospitality company. Oh, I can't think about it. Worst picks ever. Yeah. UNH ripped up yesterday, though. If you look at UNH, didn't it? Never mind. I didn't see this morning. UNH ripped up and then gave it all back yesterday. So, 285s. I had my time buying UNH. I'm not really interested in it right now. All right, guys. We have 25 minutes left. 25 minutes left. Time heals a lot of wounds in the stock market. And at the time in 2020, I was like, hey, things had corrected so quickly. It was kind of like April of this past year in 2025, right? Like things dropped so quickly. I couldn't help but buy stuff up at the time. I'm like, hey, these things are down ridiculous amounts. There's probably some discounts right now. Let me swoop in and buy it up. I bought options. I bought shares. Yeah. I can probably find the video. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find it later. Again, but fears of strikes over the weekend could cause volatility today, guys. It's Friday. We have PPI inflation data. And again, fears of strikes over the weekend could cause craziness today. Again, U.S. evacuated Israel embassy staff as the president's Iran decision looms. And that's what people are nervous about. Wild swings on NVIDIA. Yeah, I mean, NVIDIA down to 184s. I'm just glad I got out of my position. You can see I'm flat in NVIDIA now. I'm not really holding anything. I sold NVIDIA on earnings day, somehow right in time. Perfect conditions for a dump. Wild swings. Let's go into the moon. What's the best thing to buy right now, guys? Again, looking at our poll, 45% think inflation data is going to show up higher than expected today. 30% think lower. 25% think as expected. Dump it all. I got puts all over the place. Gold, everything, oil. Everything's worth buying. I don't know about everything. Buy Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin again. Bitcoin's at 66,000 though. It was at 65, so it's back up a little bit here. But look at Bitcoin right now, guys. Bitcoin, again, 66,000. It's in a range between 65 and 70 though, so it's doing all right. It's doing all right. Tesla, Netflix. You think buy Netflix today? Netflix is already up 7 to 9% this morning though. It's already up 10% on the day, basically. It's not my favorite time to buy it. I bought it before this move, not after. Yeah, my average price at Netflix is $77 a share. It's at 91s, almost 92s right now. Oh. AMC? Dude, no, look, it's all love. I'm not buying AMC, dude. Not after that pizza experience. And that pizza experience is reflective of a larger issue, which is that they're struggling right now. Microsoft. Yeah, gold is starting to pop though. Look at gold here. Gold up to 52.26 right now. Look at gold. Whoa. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Let me look at the NASDAQ. Gold just popped. Okay, so the Omani foreign minister is going to meet with the U.S. Vice President in Washington today, according to sources, but they didn't give a lot of details here. Yeah, we do have PPI inflation data today. News is still a little light. But gold just popped. 52.28s are the highs that hit today. Look at that, 52.28s. The all-time high in gold is what? 56s? So we still got a ways from all-time highs, but 52.20s for gold right now. Gold is moving. Okay, so again, we had German CPI or CPI data. Where's oil? Is oil spiking with gold? Yes. Oil's breaking highs. 67.40s for oil per barrel. NASDAQ dipping down here. And again, like I said, there's rumblings and rumors of strikes overseas this weekend. Places overseas in Israel are getting evacuated. This comes after yesterday's red action, which was partly driven by that. Again, it was partly driven by that. Oil spiking up can sometimes signal that the fears are getting a little bit more intense regarding that type of stuff. And again, gold here, 52.30s for gold. Huge spike up. NASDAQ dipping down over the last 3 minutes as well. So heading into PPI data in 20 minutes, chat, it's getting a little spicy, you know. Get a little spicy. We have 20 minutes left. Yeah, I think I'm just going to ban Crash is Coming. He just seems really bitter. Just kind of looking to criticize. You know, good day to you, sir. Have a great day. You know, it's not worth keeping you around. I mean, you've been saying we were going to crash for like 7 years now or whatever it is. So, don't keep your money in the market over the weekend unless you have puts. Yeah. Yeah. Not worth it. Silver to 98 today. Honestly, silver might have like kind of a magnet dynamic with $100 a share. It's up to 91s right now. Look at silver pop. Did I put 3 charts up? Maybe include like NVIDIA here. No, we haven't crashed really since maybe you could call April a crash. Yeah, like I said, if you get mad somebody was right about a swing trade, you know, you gotta let it out. It's okay. I mean, you're banned for life, but I can be your therapist here, brother. But just let it out, man. It's all right. I mean, you can never speak here again, but cheers to him. Good day to you, sir. Crash into each other. Yeah. As early as 2026, the estimated electricity cost to mine 1 Bitcoin, approximately 1320, making it one of the cheapest places for this activity. As U.S. participants arrive, crude is extending on gains, fresh session highs. Spot gold jumps higher, sitting at 5,200 plus an ounce. And again, guys, we have 18 minutes. Hey, thank you, Dr. Crypto, my guy. Thank you, brother. Yeah, it's a giveaway day. Yeah, so silver and gold contracts apparently expire today. Could be a black swan event if there's not enough physical silver to cover what's traded in paper. And so, yeah, that's one of the things that could be influencing silver and gold prices today. Again, gold popped. Look, here's gold on the left. NVIDIA is still breaking down. Look at gold. Look at this move on gold. Very big, large pop at 5230s for gold over the last few minutes here. Again, here's the NASDAQ dropping. And again, here's NVIDIA dropping. Everything's trending down this morning, chat. Everything's trending down heading into PPI inflation data. Again, if we take a look at the dollar index here, look at NVIDIA testing lows of the day at 183.50. It might break that level. Again, if we look at the Dixie here, 97s. So you look at the last year on the dollar index, we've dropped. The dollar index is one of those things where you see both reflections of inflation fears as well as recession fears in the dollar index. And so if the dollar index goes up too much, people get concerned. If the dollar index goes down too much, people get concerned. So you want to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah. Again, here's the NASDAQ. Meltdowns for 2 months is getting old. Imagine a wash trade to the upside. Wouldn't that be nice? Oil at 68. Yeah, oil at basically $68 a barrel right now if you look at oil. Again, Bitcoin's still down. Here's oil right here in the middle. 67.30, 67.40s. NVIDIA just broke down and broke lows again. 183.35 is the new low. Look at NVIDIA drop as we speak here. So it's falling down as we speak here. I wish I had a Porsche GT3 to give away. I wouldn't give it away. I'd give it away to myself. You know, like we'd do the giveaway and then I would show up and be like, hey, the winner is John, you know, at Beginner Trading. And I would win my own giveaway and drive off in the GT3. I love GT3s, you know, super rare. GT3 RS, give me one. Who wants to give me one? I'll buy it. Wait for the data today and maybe some metals. Bet I use this stream for work in the background. This guy is perfect. My name is also John. Shout out to all the Johns out there. You are a riot, bro. I know look, tell my daughter that. My daughter and I have a long-lasting competition about who's funnier. She has my humor, so even if she's funnier, she gets it from me, you know. But y'all have to tell her that, you know. Just let her know. Look at NVIDIA still breaking down, guys. Under 183s. We have 15 minutes until PPI inflation data comes out. You are sharp. Hey, thank you, man. You're just showering me with compliments today. Stop it. Stop it. Today's inflation data could save or pummel the market. The Bank of England chief economist Pill says we should not be lulled into false sense of security by falls in headline security driven by one-off factors. Is this a misquote? We should not be lulled into a false sense of security by falls in headline security driven by one-off factors. I'm assuming he means headline inflation is what he's probably talking about here. But I see two different sources post the same quote. He said disinflation process is advanced and intact. Again, look at gold, oil, and NVIDIA drop. Here's the NASDAQ on the right. All right, chat, we have 14 minutes left, 14 minutes. PPI can move the markets. If the war news comes out and it's not aggressive, oil could drop 10%. It happened last time with B2. Yeah. Our government is actively trying to keep the dollar weak, which will be great for gold. Seems you have very high mental agility. Guys, stop it. I can't handle compliments. I really can't. No. I don't know what to say to that. I appreciate it. I just read quickly is what I do. And sometimes I speak too quickly to where people can't understand what I'm saying because it's too fast. It's ADHD is what it is. PPI inflation doesn't really move markets. I don't know. We've seen it move markets before. Like, not that long ago, guys. We had PPI inflation data show up. Let me find the post. Way, shockingly worse than expected. And so, again, whether PPI moves markets today is going to be relative to the numbers it shows up as. It's going to be based off of what the numbers it shows up as, I should say. And so if PPI inflation data shows up super high, much higher than expected, and again, it's expected at 0.3% for both core and headline month over month. I believe core is expected at like 2.6%, I want to say. Let me look. Hold on. But it's all relative to what we show today, guys. Because if we show as expected, we probably won't move much in markets. If we show up super high, that is a situation in which we might see some negative reactions. And I don't know if the market can necessarily handle that right now because the market's already scared of potential strikes that could happen over the weekend. Oil's pumping. Gold is pumping up. Markets are falling down. And so, yeah, there's already a lot of fears in markets right now heading into this PPI print. So there's already a lot of worries regarding PPI. I'm trying to scroll to this here. Still looking, still looking. I post too much on X.com. Follow me at Beginner Trades. At Beginner Trades. We're at 24,900s here. Again, NASDAQ is breaking lows. Gold's testing highs. Oil's testing highs up there. Bro, I gotta scroll for about 5 minutes just to find this post here. And we have 11 minutes, chat. 11 minutes. Yeah, here, this PPI print right here. All right, so look at this PPI print. This one did move markets, honestly. So if you look at this PPI print, 0.9% versus 0.2% expected. 0.9% for core. 3.7 year over year for core. Headline 3.3%. And so again, if we show up like that today, markets are going to move. And so it really is just depending on what we show up as. Again, today we are expecting today we are expecting 2.6% headline, 3% core, 0.3% month over month for core and headline. So it depends on what we show up as. All right, guys, 11 minutes here. I love you. Eat birria tacos. I love you. Here, all right. Yeah, sorry. My daughter came in here. Tell me that my son wasn't listening, and so she slapped him. And I'm one of those parents that's like, look, if my 12-year-old son pushes it, that's what happens. All right, so the Pentagon's Michael on Anthropic says the U.S. offered concessions. Said U.S. offered concessions. And here we go. Here we go. How could you know if we go up or down due to PPI? Well, high inflation is generally not good, especially wholesale price inflation can get passed on to consumers. And so business or wholesale inflation or PPI inflation could be a predictor of inflation. Consumer inflation. Look at gold, guys. Gold back up again. Oil back up again. Although the NASDAQ is almost rising on this. Again, Pentagon's Michael says on the Anthropic, surprising they cut off talks. Yeah. Whether it happens quickly or slow. Dell, NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ's popping up a little bit here. It's at 24.9. It's still pretty red, and this isn't a huge move. But we got some hope here. Again, Bitcoin, guys, leading into PPI inflation data. And again, Bitcoin wants easing, so they want low inflation. But Bitcoin, again, currently sitting at 66,000 right now, 66K. I am going to throw this in sub-only mode, since I remember today. So subscribe. Guys, we are in subscriber-only mode. And again, we have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes. Again, Bitcoin right at 66,000. See if it holds. Gold still ripping up. Look at gold right here on the left chart. Oil pushing up in the middle. NASDAQ rebounded a little bit here. And again, PPI expected. I'm showing some core PPI inflation data is expected at 0.4% today. So we'll see. Oh, the giveaway is definitely going to be in sub-only mode. You better subscribe now if you haven't already. I know we got some people that kind of lurk around, don't subscribe, and just listen. You know, I'm not going to pressure you. But you can't have nice things if you don't subscribe. Pentagon's Michael on Anthropic said offered more talks, want to continue dialogue. Reiterates today's the deadline. NASDAQ is falling though. Look, oil elevated, gold pushing up on, again, worries about strikes over the weekend and maybe some baked into PPI data moves coming. I don't really have a PPI month over month expectation. I'm going to go with 0.5%. I'm just going to go, no, not 0.5. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with 0.4. 0.5 or 0.4. I'm going to go with slightly higher for producer prices. Slightly higher. But again, I could be wildly wrong. I don't freaking know. I'm not really good at predicting PPI. CPI is the one I'm good at predicting. For some reason, I get CPI predictions right more than I get them wrong. But again, I don't even know what that means. That might mean the data is fudged anyway. You know, like if I can predict CPI, that means they're basically doing what they want it to be, not versus what it actually is. And so, I don't know. Again, I'm CPI is the one I'm good at. PPI, again, straight up guess. NASDAQ, gold, still ripping up. Look at gold, guys. 52.5s. NASDAQ coming back down here, getting ready to test the lows of the day here at 24,890s. Kind of a scary market right now heading into PPI inflation data in 5 minutes here. Again, here is the NASDAQ. NASDAQ starting to break. It is Friday, but again, rumors of strikes over the weekend in the Middle East are making oil prices go up on war premium news. Gold is spiking up one. Yeah, data in 5 minutes. Yeah, so Pentagon speaking about Anthropic, want to continue dialogue today, reiterates today's the deadline. Let's see how today goes. I offered more talks. We need to be able to take weapons down fast. But again, Bitcoin sliding. PPI inflation data coming soon, chat. 4 minutes. Yeah, gold and silver running up. Again, a lot of the stories right now are AI centered. In terms of worries, NVIDIA is breaking down. It's at 183s right now. It hit 182s about 5 minutes ago. Gold is pushing up. The NASDAQ is pushing down. Yeah, I think we could go as expected. I think that might be a fair prediction. And again, we did a poll earlier. 48% think higher, 29% think lower, 24% think as expected today. So we will see, chat. We will see. Are you gonna keep streaming when you're 75 years old? Nah, maybe my son will, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, they're speaking a lot regarding Anthropic, but Bitcoin's still holding 66,000 though, so that's good. NASDAQ just cracked lows again, 24,883 on the NASDAQ here. Look at gold. Gold has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row. Again, NASDAQ's getting ready to test the lows of yesterday, the lows of the last 48 hours here, as we barrel into potential PPI inflation data, chat. A 0.4% on core after 0.7 last month is horrible. That's 6.6 inflation annually. Oh, month over month. 84%. Crypto's dropping because today. All right, chat, here we go. We have 2.5 minutes left, chat. 2.5 minutes left. I need a fitting song. There we go. I need a fitting song for this. Hit the live button. Put in 2x speed. We have 2 minutes left. NASDAQ's breaking down on the day. Again, PPI inflation data expected at 0.3% month over month. Some analysts have core expected at 0.4% month over month. Hey, what's up, Tony? Again, polls at 47% higher than expected. And again, my guess is slightly higher. I'm going to go with 0.4, 0.5% month over month. NASDAQ breaking down. Really has been in a downward trend since early this morning, and definitely red on the day now. Again, look at the NASDAQ break here, heading into it. Here we go. Again, we have 1 minute left, chat. 1 minute left. Bitcoin's down. SPY down. NASDAQ down. Oil up. Gold up. 1 minute exactly left, chat. 1 minute exactly left. My timer's a little bit early, but 1 minute exactly left. And again, we're going to go over the entire PPI inflation report. 40 seconds, chat. Again, my timer's a little bit early. We have about 40 seconds. Yeah, again, any questions? I'm getting a lot of questions show up right now. We are going to wait until the data release happens first, chat. Again, expected at 0.3% month over month for core and headline. Year over year expected at 3% for core. Here we go, 20 seconds. Last minute predictions. Here we go. 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. Here's the report right now. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And here's the report right now. There's the report. Okay, guys, PPI, 3.6% for core, 0.8%, way worse than expected, higher than expected, 2.9% on the year, 0.5% on the month for headline. Core is at 0.8%, way worse than expected, way higher than expected here. Again, PPI, 2.9% on the year. Chat, 2.9%, way worse than expected, 0.5% on the month, 0.8% for core on the month. 2.9% on the year, way worse than expected. And we went down initially, but then we bounced back up, which is kind of strange. They also revised the last one down slightly. But again, 0.8% for core PPI month over month. Very strange. We got this big brutal reaction here. But yeah, this is not good. This is not good. 0.8% here, guys. Let me put this up on screen, and I'm going to read this report right now. This is not good. NASDAQ did drop. Gold did drop. That's way higher than I thought it would be. And again, this is one of those situations where it was higher than expected. Does not look good. Again, I'll put this data up on screen, but month over month, 0.8% for core. Headline, 0.5%. Yeah, so I'll put this main headline up, and then we'll put some other ones up as well. But, man, look at this report here. Again, we're going to dig through the numbers real quick. But, man, way worse than expected. 0.5 versus 0.3%. Did I get it right again? Did I get it right? I think I kind of did. I don't know if I said 0.4, 0.5. I got it close enough. I'm gonna celebrate that as a win here. But again, let's take a look at the actual report and see what these numbers showed up as here. And so again, PPI did show up just now, higher than expected. But man, higher than expected inflation data, not good. Again, PPI 0.5% on the month versus 0.3% expected. Core showed up at 0.8% versus 0.3% expected. Last one for both core and headline did get revised down. Trade services margins are up 1.7%. And again, I'm going to put this up on screen. Again, trade services margins up 1.7%, led by machinery and equipment wholesaling, which is up 4.5%. Services, less trade, transportation, and warehousing are up 0.3%. Transportation and warehousing themselves up 0.5%. Final demand goods overall were 0% month over month, excluding food and energy. Final demand is down 1.4% and food 0.3%. Diesel fuel down 14.6%. Which gas and jet fuel are lower. Beef and veal, iron and steel scraps also down. In services, bundled wire telecom access services are down 4.4%. So again, PPI up. PPI up, reaccelerated to 0.5%. Core. And so NASDAQ is down for sure. I'm showing core was 0.8%. Oh, core accelerated 0.4% is what they said. Okay, yeah. Worse than expected here for sure. And again, guys, let's do another poll here, but man, hold on. Yeah, guys. Again, I don't think this is good. I don't think you can interpret this as good. NASDAQ is down on this report. Kind of scary here. Kind of scary. Mac and cheese. Next 3 years. As all the results of tariffs. Do you guys like this initial move here? So we have dropped. Again, inflation data showed up higher than expected for both core and headline everywhere. For both core and headline everywhere. Oh, hey bro. I love you, dude. Have a good day, bud. Again, PPI year over year, 2.9% versus 2.6%. 0.5% versus 0.3%. Month over month for headline. Core, 3.6 versus 3%. Core month over month, 0.8% versus 0.3%. Although the last numbers did get revised. But, again, NASDAQ did react negatively. Let's take a look at yields and how they responded here. I'm sure yields are going to be going up some on this report after dropping a lot earlier. But they haven't really moved as much as well here. And look at yields. Yields are basically unchanged. They did spike originally, and then they came right back down. We're falling like a rock. I mean, are we? Is this? I mean, we've been dropping like a rock all morning. I'm talking about from PPI. Can you say a rate increase? Not on these numbers. I mean, these numbers are certainly bad, but I don't necessarily think they're going to cause rate hikes soon. The only way, we need confirmation in consumer prices before we get rate hikes, right? Like, we need CPI to be higher, and it's been low. We need PCE inflation to be higher, and it's been low or flat. We would need strengthen the economy before we raise rates. And I don't think we have any of those things, really. Labor's been weak. Inflation for consumer prices, the data has shown low numbers here. I don't know if we're getting rate cuts. Yeah, PPI didn't help. I think most of these moves are Iran related. Yes, that's correct. Again, you can kind of see the oil premium shooting up. Look at oil, up to almost $68 a barrel right now. And so again, the news really is Iran. Again, Bitcoin is not liking this because Bitcoin wants easing here, guys. So Bitcoin, again, is not liking this. Bitcoin wants easing. And look at Bitcoin drop on less easing potential. And the logic here, just for those that might not understand this, is that the Fed cuts interest rates and eases, maybe does economic stimulus like quantitative easing and more, if the economy is weak enough and inflation's under control enough to justify it. So if we have high inflation data, the Federal Reserve is going to be less likely to ease. Why? Because lowering interest rates and easing through money printing can make things worse in inflation terms. And so they don't want to make inflation worse if inflation's already a risk. So with inflation data showing up higher than expected, again, what is Bitcoin doing? It is now dropping on this news. Why? Because Bitcoin wants easing. They want stimulus, and higher inflation means less stimulus here, chat. So that is why we're seeing this. We did have news recently that OpenAI and Amazon are going to invest $50 billion. OpenAI is expanding long-standing pact with NVIDIA, and new funding from Microsoft doesn't change the relationship with OpenAI. But again, we did have PPI data show up higher than expected today. We will see what we get for the rest of the day. But again, a lot of the market is still fearful over U.S.-Iran tensions and potential strikes over the weekend. Yeah, and again, the Federal Reserve, their job is to maintain balance. They have a dual mandate. The dual mandate means they need to focus on the labor market. They need to focus on the labor market and inflation. Ideally, they want both of those things under control. They want low inflation, strong labor. Recently, the labor market's been weak. We've had a lot of reports, excluding maybe the official one that said weakness in labor. We had JOLTS show up lower than expected, which is hirings. We had quits in the JOLTS report show up higher than previously. We had ADP data show weaker than expected numbers over the last month. Over the last 8 months, we've seen a lot of weak data. We've seen negative job growth in some months. We've seen big revisions on the downside in labor data. And so a lot of people, and this is why we have such fear right now over the last year in terms of inflation and labor, is because inflation has shown signs of weakness. A lot of people still fear inflation. And on the other end of that, the labor market looks weak as well. And so we have kind of bad is bad and good is bad scenario. We have high inflation in some areas and weak labor. And so neither one of those things is good. A lot of people say it's stagflation, which is, again, an economic state that can sometimes precede a recession that shows high inflation and weak labor. But the official labor data, again, which I don't necessarily trust sometimes, has shown like it was almost 100% more than expected last time. Or it was over 100%. It was 130 versus 65 expected. So that's over 100%. But again, that's the official labor data, and we've seen those data releases get revised a lot over the past year. Big revisions too. So we'll see what happens moving forward with all this stuff. Again, Amazon's still speaking. They said we're able to tailor AI models for use across AI products at Amazon. Amazon investment starting with initial $15 billion. We have Chicago PMI later. We have home sales data at 10 o'clock and more. Stagflation is coming. Yeah, you might be right, my friend. You might be right. All right, guys. Are we in a stagflation economy? Put yes or no in chat right now. Let me know. Are we in stagflation economy? I think you could probably argue it fairly. I don't know if we are, but I think you could probably argue it fairly. I don't necessarily think we are, but again, I think you could probably argue it fairly. But let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think? Again, if you want to help support the channel, check out Apex. Apex currently 80% off. You can use promo code BG. Help support the channel. BG. You can also use the same code for Take Profit as well. Again, most day traders lose money. Guys, most day traders lose money. If you fund your own account thousands of dollars trying to look cool, you're probably going to lose. It doesn't matter what course you take, who your mentor is, what they say, you're probably going to lose money. And so should you fund your own account 10 grand and probably give it back to the market in a couple weeks? No. Try a funded account program. Most of the challenges are less than $100. They give you a demo with it. They give you a demo and they test your skill with it. If you pass that test, reasonable like 2 to 3 ratio passing, they fund you between 25K up to over $100,000. If you fail it, you only lose the $100 or less fee. And again, you get 40% off on Take Profit, promo code BG. Here's Apex's link right there if you want to check it out. Use BG. If you want to, you get, I think, 80% off Apex right now. Here's Apex's link as well. Or there's Apex's link right there. If you want to check out Take Profit's link, I'll put that one up here as well. You can also find the description for both of them here, chat. Check out the description. Again, I get paid by them, so I'm biased. Shameless plug, shameless plug. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Remember, I'm not an investment professional. I did get PPI right, though. I'm just going to put that out there. I got CPI right and PPI right. And so if you're wondering whose data release stream you should go to, you know. Y'all will never hear the end of this. Again, I don't even know if I got this one right. I'm just going to act like I did. Again, here's Take Profit. There's the link right there. Check it out. Bro, did my timer all of a sudden show up about an hour late? It looks like it did. We are winning too much, sir. Please stop. Yeah, I mean, political landscape is definitely a little crazy right now. Speaking of that, though, we are going to trade live. Let's trade some here. I mean, I have to short this market, I would assume here, right? Like, I would assume we short this. No? Right? Yeah, I'll put this up if I do decide to day trade on Trade-Evate. I mean, I think shorting's the easy way. I don't know if I should, though. Oil still pushing up. Should I trade gold or silver here? Let me ask questions. Long or short right now? Again, we do have a Take Profit giveaway later on today as well, guys. So we do have a Take Profit giveaway, so stick around. We are going to give away Bitcoin rebounding back up, though, chat. Look at Bitcoin here. Again, Bitcoin is back up to 66,000 here. All right, so I see long, short, long, short. It's not a freestyle, guys. I'm sorry. Long, short the bottom. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I have to wait for a bounce back personally. Bitcoin back up to 66,000 though. Again, if we get a rebound on the NASDAQ up to like here, 900s, that's where I'm potentially long here. I could also maybe do, I don't know, I like this level here, 890s, 900s. You know, I think the structure, if we're talking about market structure, I think if we get all the way back over this level, which is also coinciding with the 200 exponential, I think if we get all the way back over this level, at 950s, 940s, that'll show a break of structure and potential reversal that I don't want to necessarily get caught in. So I'm gonna wait for this level here, maybe 25s, maybe 50 up there before I take any positions. What do you guys think? I use scalping. Yeah, I use scalping. I use market structure and just trends and try to trade with the trend a lot of the time. Again, I need a pretty large rebound back up here on the NASDAQ. We're too close to the bottom of this range for me to get interested. So. All right, we're up to 66,000 here. NVIDIA 173, biggest mover is rate cut odds. Everything else is temporary. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna push down the odds of a rate cut next month. All right, so we got a little bounce back here. Again, I think I have to wait for more, though. Like, here's the odds of rate cuts. This will probably change. Although, again, we didn't see yields move that much. We didn't see yields do that much. Yields are up a little bit, though, as they should be from PPI inflation data. But it's not a huge move. Yields are up. They were under 4% this morning, just to clarify. So, under 4%. Your thoughts on Netflix backing out? I'm in Netflix right now. And so, again, even though I think them following through with the Warner Bros. Deal would be better for them long term, I think short term is better for their margins. And so I'm celebrating the fact that Netflix is up today as much as it is because I'm in Netflix at the 70s. I was pretty vocal about my buying Netflix when I did in the 70s. And so, yeah, I think the Warner Bros. Back out and, you know, they get a $2.8 billion back out fee. Netflix gets a $2.8 billion fee now, which is good. Paramount has to pay it as well. So better for their margins short term, although I do think it'll be worse for their brand long term. NVIDIA's double. Yeah, NVIDIA is still breaking down here at 182s. A lot of the downward pressure we might see in the NQ is going to be based off of what NVIDIA does. It's the most heavily weighted stock in the NASDAQ. And so if the NASDAQ continues to break down, it kind of needs NVIDIA too as well. It doesn't have to happen, but NVIDIA breaking down will certainly help the NASDAQ drop here. Yeah. So, you know, certainly help it break down if it gets one, but 750 shares in the 70s. Yeah, I bought it in the 70s. I had a lot of people say they would buy Netflix today. I don't know if I would. All right, guys. So again, NASDAQ up to 24,850s here, 24,850s. They get NVIDIA at 182s. New home sales are near lows. Rates are still higher. Inflation's still here. Robots are going to take over jobs. Yeah, we did get news earlier today regarding robots taking over jobs. Basically, we got news earlier by a senator that said, let me see what he said. They're planning to introduce 2 AI labor bills in the coming months, according to Axios. They say lawmakers are under increasing pressure to respond to fears that AI will upend the job market. So, yeah, we do have a nice little bounce in the NASDAQ here, though. All right, you know what? I will take this position here. I think it's a reasonable enough short right here. Here, I'll put my little cool window up so you can watch my, hold on. I have to mess with this here. Hold on. Bro, OBS is kind of glitching right now, dude. I'm not going to add more to this. Again, we're kind of ripping back up. I wanted to see if we would reject here, so I'll give it a second and then I'll cut this. Again, I think yesterday we made like $900 on this one. So, losing $100 is nothing. Although we are starting to get some pressure here. Let me see if we have news. U.S. Energy Secretary says revenue from Venezuelan oil sales are no longer being routed through Qatar and going straight to the U.S. Treasury. All right, we're back to flat here. Look at this drop. So something just happened that caused the NASDAQ to dip here. Look at this drop. I'm going to cut some profit off here, though. Or I took a little bit too much off. Let me add back. I want to start small and then add to it if it goes in my favor, just because we were so red when it initially started. Again, OpenAI CEO says as long as revenue keeps growing, then deals are not circular. Altman says as long as revenue... again, yeah, so that's Altman. He says, continue to see rapidly growing demand, open to going public at the right time. Amazon can deliver new demand and huge incremental revenue. Okay, well, the short worked. I just don't want to get stuck in a long trend here, because we did get a shorter term break of structure right here at 860, even though we came right back down. I don't want this to turn into a long trend, so I'm probably just going to keep it flat. And we'll give it a second. Alright, so we're down slightly on the trade, but kind of chopping back and forth here. Again, Altman says he continues to see rapidly growing demand. OpenAI's over 900 million weekly active users now. Again, if we can break down, I'll go a little bit greener here, but Altman is on his way down. Alright, so we're back in the green. Again, I want to add to a winning position here, though. So again, I'm sitting tight. If we start to break down, great, I'll add to this. If not, we'll just sit tight. We are green. All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. I'll add some to this now. If we keep dropping. Need to take a little bit larger size here, though, but I can usually put a Windows capture thing up. There we go. I figured it out. Bear with me, guys. I'll put this up so you can actually see the P&L close. And the position size. Bottom left now is where you can see it. You can see a little bit more clear on the bottom left. Some of y'all ain't ready to live like when AI takes your job. Alright, guys. Alright, so now we're slightly red here, but we're kind of going back and forth after a big drop from PPI inflation data. We've seen squeezes in opposing directions sometimes. IMF Managing Director says there's phenomenal growth of new companies that will generate jobs in the US on Fox Business. And so again, IMF Managing Director says there's phenomenal growth of new companies that would generate jobs in the United States. All right, so we're chopping here ahead of the top of the hour. We are green now. I should probably add a little bit to this, but I need a break under this structure first. There we go. It's looking good. Keeps popping right there. They're pumping the market. I would say discipline is probably one of the best skills for trading. Yeah, discipline, I would say risk reward calculation. Like this one I can get in here just to show you the trade. I got in right around here, 860s. Or I got in right around here, I guess. But my risk is up here, but my reward, just to put this in perspective, and I'll probably hold it through this. My reward's down here at the lows, and my risk is not that high above me here at about 870. So, small risk. There's my risk. My reward is all the way down here towards the lows. So even if I get stopped out here, if I consistently take these trades, it's just good risk reward. Yeah, I mean, I'm losing on the trade, but it's not, you know, this thing is just sideways. The whole market's sideways right now. Again, I'm curious to see how NVIDIA is responding to Amazon CEO Jassy says as growth rates are high, we'll spend more capital, he says. So, And we are going to day trade to the opening bell today. All right, so we're green again. I'm going to let this happen. Amazon's moving a little bit as well. I am in Amazon. Netflix over 92s right now. And I kind of just got to sit in this, I think. I'll add more if we start to break down a little bit, but how do they expect to still be on top when we can't buy anything? I'm trying to take longer term trades, and I take a bunch of different trades in the background. Again, I'm going to go with my stop up here at 70s and my reward target at about 810s or so. What I'm looking at. I'll probably give it some time. You know, we are about 30 minutes into the opening bell though, so we'll see what we get. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm trying to be just patient here and let this one work. One of my biggest wins was I was shorting Uber in a day trade, and then Uber came out. Basically, they were getting sued by the state of California or something, and it dropped a huge percentage. Pure luck. One of my best trades. Pure luck. Worst trades, probably some of the first trades I got in. When I first got started day trading. Again, when I first got started, I probably lost... Again, I've told this story. I probably lost $4 or $5 grand in 3 weeks. And it was a lot of money to me at the time. Like $4,000 to me at the time was so much money. And so Carol was even like, no, John, don't do it. Don't spend your 4K day trading. And I was like, nope, I'm going to do it. Ended up losing thousands of dollars very quickly. I know exactly what I did wrong in hindsight. I mean, I was a brand new trader, so I didn't know what I was talking about. I would buy, to me at the time, share size was consistent along, like the movements that you got, or the P&L that you got from share size was the same depending on, no matter what stock you buy. And I didn't really understand that stocks had different ranges, different prices. Like two $30 stocks can move wildly different ranges depending on how big the float is and more. So I didn't really understand that. And so I would go around buying like 50 shares of some stocks and not get any movement and think, hey, I could just buy 50 shares of whatever stock it is and just get, I just got punished one day, just punished. Buying $50 or 50 shares of a IPOing stock, IPOing stock. I'm probably going to get stopped out here. We're getting pretty close to my stop loss. But again, I'm going to stick to it. We're very close to this now. I'll let it test, but I'm probably going to get stopped out here, it looks like. Again, 70 is my stop, so... Amazon CEO says his growth rates are high, will spend more capital. He continues to see rapidly. Oh, look, I gotta watch this. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this right here. I'm out. I got stopped out. It's all good. Yeah, and again, just to put this in perspective, in this account, we're still up very big. We made like 900 yesterday, like 9 something. Mostly shorting, obviously, from yesterday. Look at the NASDAQ rip back up here. Or we might have made more than that, dude. Hold on, let me see how much I made. Yeah, yesterday we ended up making a bunch here. Best trade for me was buying puts on NKLA. I remember NKLA, man. NKLA got in trouble because they rolled a semi-truck down a hill. It was an EV, and they were trying to prove EV semi-truck utility, and they rolled it down a hill and videotaped it and used it for marketing purposes, and then got sued for it, for false advertisements. You can't do that as a public company. Promo code is BG, Alex, BG. Yeah, again, if you want to help support the channel, most day traders lose. And again, I try to be honest with people. Like, look, I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I don't sell a course. I don't sell a service. You want to help support the channel, again, check out Take Profit. You can use my promo code BG and get, a decent percentage off BG, get a 40% off the max discount on Take Profit. And, BG, Take Profit, Apex, max discount. And a great way to help support the channel. Again, a great way to help support the channel. Again, if you want to check out Take Profit, here's the link. You can use my code, my link as well. Yeah, a lot of markets are responding to OpenAI CEO speaking. All right, so we have the IAEA saying Iran must address with utmost urgency location on or uranium. Again, Jassy says we will have a lot of new jobs. There will be a transition. This is the Amazon CEO. It says on block layoffs, haven't digested that news. Again, Altman says current fundraise provides long runway, and Altman says don't think U.S. should be threatening DPA on AI firms. So, again, we are going to be day trading live today, chat. All right, guys, so I was thinking about using 7.5, but I about got stopped out right above it. It's okay. We're going to be day trading the NASDAQ today. So that's kind of what we already are trading. I smell a disgusting... I trade on Tradeovate. I trade on a mix of Take Profit, Apex, Lucid. You can use my Lucid code if you like Lucid. Check out Lucid. Use promo code BT on Lucid. Somebody already had my BG code, but you can use promo code BT on Lucid. And I think you can use it on Apex as well. Somebody took my code. Is tech ever going to be made great again? Of course tech is. I remember watching you and Mitch day trade Neo. I remember Neo. Mitch is my boy. He'll come on stream next week, guys. If you want to see Money Mitch, he'll be on stream next week. Why do you have the fireplace on? Because the ambiance here, guys. I don't know if y'all can see that. I feel bad. This is the big, good one. I broke the other one. Carol got me one, and I broke it. But... again, my wife, I love her. She keeps my house like Antarctica here. It's cold, guys. It's cold. Bitcoin going to 150K. I like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's probably going up long term. NVIDIA now coming back down to retest lows maybe. I should have held my short, but it's okay. I should have shorted this target. Just took a little bit too short term of a range. That's all right. Bears are still in control for sure, I would say, heading into the open. You're in Texas and it's cold? It's not cold. Again, not the weather outside. It's the weather inside my house. Like Antarctica here, guys. Trying to set the mood. All right, listen to this music here. Florida's foggy, high 60s. Are y'all bullish or bearish on my water bill right now? I don't even know what my water bill is. Let me see. Bull or bear? Who's got the, bull or bear on my water bill? My water bill. Over or under? Who's got the over or under on my water bill? I don't know what it is this time. Bearish? Bear? I think I showed you guys this one actually, so I haven't got another one since the last time I showed you. My February water bill. They've been better, guys. They've been better, dude. Like, these are my water bills right here. Again, $455 was my last one for February. December was only $220. That is a rarity in my household, dude. We had one that was $900 a couple months ago. November was $446. So doing good. Again, NASDAQ and NVIDIA still breaking down. Here we go. We're going to be day trading live at the open. I think crypto is just fearful right now. You know, could be 4-year cycle. You know, crypto is pretty known for this, chat. If you look at a weekly chart on Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin swings, you know. Are you telling me this? Like, look at this chart. All right, are you telling me this does not look like this? You know, I'd say the trend line is still up. Like, look. Hopefully we stop here, but who knows? Yeah, again, the rumors, the reason markets are down, guys, there's a couple different reasons. Let me summarize it ahead of the opening bell real quick. The reason markets are down. Number one, fears of strikes in the Middle East over the weekend. Evacuations happening, fears of strikes over the weekend. This has caused oil, again, to pop this morning. If you look at price per barrel of oil, it hit 67.70s earlier. It's at 67.60s now. You know, so more premium potential on the price of oil per barrel currently. So that's number one. Number two, AI fears. NVIDIA corrected from its earnings. So AI fears dragging markets. CoreWeave, bad guidance, overvaluation fears, software slump, and tech. And so NVIDIA dumped yesterday, corrected from its earnings, went up to 203 after earnings, and it killed its earnings. NVIDIA did great. Its EPS its EPS was better than expected, which is margins. Its revenue was good though. Its revenue guidance was very good. Higher than previously, higher than expected for revenue guidance. Now, this didn't stop it from correcting. And so again, NVIDIA, after its earnings report, dumped yesterday at the opening bell, and the downward trend continued into this morning. So NVIDIA down to 182s as we speak here, guys. 182s for NVIDIA. Again, the NASDAQ is down to 24,840s. So, again, times are tough for NVIDIA right now. Record auto repossession, student loan defaults, and credit card delinquency signal consumer financial stress. Should have shorted, guys. I should have stayed in it, but 41,000 is the Bitcoin bottom. What do you guys think? Where's the Bitcoin bottom? Let me do another poll here. I finished this poll. Again, we'll do another one here. What's a good poll? 56 bottom, 47, 45 to 47,000, 54,000, 10,000, 30,000, 59,000, 41. $5 veto. All right, so are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell? We're gonna keep the poll really simple. Bull or bear for the open? Let me know in chat. Or no, let me know on the poll. Poll is now live here, guys. It could be, Sean. I don't know. Yeah, but to be fair, people said Bitcoin was going to zero when Bitcoin was at 10,000. People said Bitcoin was going to zero when Bitcoin was at 1,000. You know, when Bitcoin dropped here from 67s all the way down to 16s, 10s. People said it was going to zero. And so it's not the first time people have said Bitcoin is going to zero. And so it's not the first. This is the bottom already. Get out now. I mean, we could argue Bitcoin's value. I say we argue Bitcoin's utility. We can argue the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. I would argue Bitcoin's utility. What's gold's utility, chat? Again, I like gold. I think gold's going up long term. Long term, you know, standard of value. But what's the utility behind gold except for small uses in tech? It's not a crazy amount. You don't use gold a ton in tech. You use it a little bit. But gold is shiny. What do you think is going to happen with Netflix at the market open? I don't know. I hope it goes up. I'm in Netflix. Should I sell some of my Netflix here, chat? What do you guys think? Again, no deal has been signed between OpenAI and the Department of Defense, according to Wall Street Journal. Which has more utility, chat, gold or Bitcoin? Again, which has more utility, gold or Bitcoin? I don't know. I really don't know which one. I think Bitcoin is more useful current age. Gold is. Yes, Matt. It's interesting the answers we get. I'm not even on either side. I like gold and I like Bitcoin, just to put this into perspective. But I was curious to see what people would say regarding all this stuff. So, hey. Again, we are going to be doing a take profit giveaway here, chat. We are going to be doing a take profit giveaway. So be ready. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have held this. I don't know. Again, we have 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left. Chat's still arguing about gold and Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm a big believer in diversification here. Big believer in diversification. So, again, you don't have to pick just one. You do not have to pick just one. Wait, I know this song. This is the one where the dude starts rapping randomly. Also came in hotter than expected. Watch out. Yeah, PPI inflation hotter than expected. Although we have dropped substantially leading into the opening bell today. You know, we've dropped a lot in NVIDIA, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow. You know. So we've dropped a lot leading into the open. Again, PPI came in hot as well. Market was already kind of red. NASDAQ still breaking down. We have a pretty obvious trend. This is a 5-minute chart. As long as we maintain under this level here, I think we're in a downward trend, 24,950. I think 25,000 also a big level to pay attention to probably here. So IAEA reports that the IAEA's lack of access to verify Iran's enriched uranium stocks is a matter of proliferation concern. As of June 13th, Iran's stock of uranium enriched up to 60% purity is still estimated at 440.9 kg. It's a matter of increasing concern that they've never provided the IAEA with access to enrichment facility since it was first declared in June. So basically, they haven't let inspectors visit it yet. Raises questions, according to the world. Yeah, the PPI report is out. You can read it at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, inflation came in higher than expected everywhere. Month over month, headline and core. Year over year, headline and core higher than expected. So inflation data higher than expected everywhere. All right, guys, opening bell, 12 minutes here. Chat, 12 minutes. I got trapped at 100. Is this thing still have hope? 100 for what? Oh, TGIS. I don't know what that is. Be careful. Lost a few K. Cooked. What do you think will turn crypto around in the near future? Buys. All right, guys. So NVIDIA tapping lows of the day again at 181.50 right now. 181.50. NASDAQ at 24,825. Yeah, I usually wait a little while before I trade. Your trade would have paid off. Yeah, but again, you guys know, listen. The chat, every time I take a trade, the chat is filled with 6'5" billionaires who have 100% trade accuracy. All right. So everybody in the chat, as soon as I take a trade, and as soon as we go losing on a trade, again, 6'5" billionaires with 100% trade accuracy. And so you'd be shocked at how many people are like, don't short this here, bro. What are you doing? You know, and again, it kind of goes to show nobody freaking knows what's going to happen. Nobody freaking knows. Least of all me. Again, not an investment professional. I just tried to, it was a good risk reward trade. So I took it. It was good enough risk reward to justify it. So I took it. I would have made money on it too. And again, remember my profit target on it was right here, but it did stop me out right before. My profit target was around the lows, which is where we are now. So. Six, don't insult me. My apologies, brother. My apologies. Inverse chat. Oh, Mr. Perfect. I'm not falling for that. Michael Burry quits his hedge fund. Yeah, but he quit that like what, like months ago? He left Scion. Oh, laugh at me when I'm wrong. I'll laugh at myself when I'm wrong. You know? What kind of music is this, guys? Is this whimsy music? Nine more minutes. Come on, Jim Cramer says we're going to the moon. New York sweep London low then high. Yeah, NASDAQ is flushing down here. I mean, I think it's more, it's easier to just follow the trend, which is what I was trying to do with good risk reward. I think the time frame was a little low in the trade. I think if I had used a 5-minute chart and instead use this level here, but maybe this level. Heading into the opening bell though in 8 minutes, we are close to lows in NVIDIA, the NASDAQ. Again, gold, silver elevated on the day, oil elevated. Gold is up to 250s right now, 250s. Silver, again, up to 92s as we speak right now. So silver, gold elevated for sure on the day. Silver's almost up to $93 a share here. NVIDIA's at lows of the day as well. Here's silver. So uncertainty is good for them. Not Kramer sell everything. Kramer's Seinfeld of the market. Yeah, my friend was really bugging me to watch the karate episode with Kramer on Seinfeld. Like, he's always asking me about jiu-jitsu because I train jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm a mediocre blue belt. And so he told me that I go to jiu-jitsu like Kramer does karate. You know? And so I had to watch that episode. It was good. Again, we'll see what happens at the opening bell. It's Friday. Inflation was hot. Rumors of strikes over the weekend causing fear. AI is overvalued according to a lot of people and dropping down in price. NVIDIA correcting from earnings and heading into the weekend. It could get interesting. Yields are under 4% right now on all this uncertainty and worries. I'm a blue belt. I've been training for probably 3 years. Oil's up. Yeah, well, the chatter is pretty open today about potential strikes over the weekend in Iran. Like, that's what's driving a lot of this. We have 6 minutes left. So that's the chatter. Jiu-jitsu's great. Jiu-jitsu's great. It really is. It's fun. Keeps you in shape. It's like a video game. If you play video games, it's fun. It's fun. Again, silver up to 93s here, guys. 93s. NASDAQ down. I'm going to watch NVIDIA at the opening bell. Again, I'm also in Netflix. I'm going to take just a little piece off of Netflix here. I think I probably have to, right? Because again, I like this. I like them exiting the deal short term, not necessarily long term. So, because of that, I think I need to cut at least a little bit of this Netflix position. I'll stay in like some of it, but I'm going to sell some of this as well. So let me take a little piece of this off. Alright. I just sold a little bit into the open, locked in some profits here. Oil's up. Google signs multi-million-dollar deal with Meta. All right, guys, here we go. The opening bell is coming soon. We have 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. It'd be risky to sit in leverage long positions over the weekend. Yeah, that's why I'm taking a little profit here. Microsoft's starting to come back down as well. I'm in a little bit of Microsoft also, though, but Microsoft is falling here. Like, if you look at Microsoft on the left side, Microsoft's not looking great. It's at 392s, 391s. So, still struggling to hold here. Alright guys, again, we're at 390 on Microsoft. NASDAQ is just kind of consolidating around the low, but I don't know if this is good. Netflix just ripped up to 93s. Of course, it's right after I sell. But look at Netflix start to pop here. And the NASDAQ's kind of getting squeezed by Microsoft and others dropping, but Netflix pushing up. Again, I'm checking this news as we speak here. Again, Sam Altman, OpenAI, working on a deal between Anthropic and the U.S. Pentagon, but it's not signed yet. Altman tells staff going to see if there's a deal with the Dow that allows our models to be deployed in classified environments. It's the DoD, it's not the Dow Jones. Netflix almost up to 94s right now. Luckily, I only sold like 25% of my position here. All right, guys, here we go. 2 minutes left. All right, guys. NASDAQ breaking down to 24,800s here. 24,800s. Again, Netflix just went up to 96 ahead at the opening bell. Netflix is flying up. I'm looking for news on it. Let's see if I can figure it out. But again, Netflix walked away from the Paramount battle with over Warner Bros. So Netflix walked away from Warner Bros. Buyout. Up to almost $95 a share. And again, this would be a pre-split price of $950 for Netflix. I thought it was cheap at 7s. But price target was raised today, I think, for Netflix as well. Somewhere. But you love to see it. You love to see it. Again, like I said, I sold a little bit just now, but still in a majority of my position here. All right, chat, here we have 40 seconds left. 40 seconds left until the opening bell. Again, looking at our poll, I asked people, are you bullish or bearish for the opening bell? 60% are bearish, 40% are bullish. Again, if you want to help support with the channel, I'm trading on Apex. I'm trading on Take Profit. Again, use promo code BG to get the max discount. Help support free content. We put everything out there for free. We don't sell a course. We try to be as honest as we can with everybody. And I appreciate those that are using my link. I know a lot of you guys said y'all are. And so I appreciate it. Again, Apex right now, 80% off. No PDT rule in futures. If you want to learn to day trade, don't risk funding your own account thousands and losing it. They give you a demo test, your skill, you pass it, they fund you, 80% split. Again, if you want to check out Apex, I'll put the link up right here. Again, 80% off. Super cheap accounts on Apex as well. Just useful. And most day traders lose. There's the opening bell. NASDAQ popped a little bit. Netflix is starting to come down some. So again, we will see if it holds. Yeah, but you can use this link, promo code BG. There's the link right there in chat. Check it out. Let's see what we get. I'm in Netflix right now. Netflix down to 92.80s here. Falling down some. Hit 96s earlier, though. We'll give it a second. We will be day trading some as well on Trade of 8. put this up so you guys can actually see some of this here. Here's the NASDAQ trying to bounce. Let me put my cool little window up here. If we do decide to get in something, I gotta wait here. It's a little bit smaller so you can see it. Yeah, we are moving up a little bit though. I gotta wait. VWAP fade level right here looks good, but I think we might have already gotten it. How close after the opening bell are we here? We're 2 minutes after the open. I gotta wait. Use promo code BG, Kato. BG at checkout. You'll get the discount, bro. You can also use the same promo code on Take Profit. Netflix is giving a lot of it back here. But the NASDAQ is actually moving up here. If we look at NVIDIA, NVIDIA is down to 180s right now, guys. 180s. Microsoft's actually moving up a little bit after the bell. All right, so we're up here. I might take a short right here at the volume weighted average price and just look for like a VWAP fade. Again, give it some time. Okay, there we go. We got a nice rejection. I'm gonna let it test the volume weighted average price, but it's a different account, and I gotta cut it real quick. Probably too close to the opening bell. Got a little bit late of a fill here. I'm long though. I'll look up to the 200 EMA. Okay, so we have 200 EMA. We'll take half off. How's Trade of 8 lagging at all? I'll buy a little bit more of a dip here. This could be a change of structure, trend change here. So we'll take 3 contracts and that's it right here. See what happens. We move back up to the 200 EMA. There we go. I am trading a little bit close to the opening bell here, but that's all right. I want to see if it moves up to 200 exponential. Kind of flat. My risk level is about right here at 69s, and so I'll probably cut this too. Right there. I want to see if we retrace back up, but retracement back up. Risk management, though, I'm going to take some of this off and just wait. Probably a little bit too close to the bell. Google's flying up right now at the opening bell there. So Google's up. Microsoft's up as well here. Kind of a flat trade, to be honest. But it looks like I cut a lot of that where I should have. Here's the VWAP, though. We got a little bounce at the VWAP. We could push right back up there, but I probably got to wait a little bit more time. We're 5 minutes into the open. And again, NVIDIA is what I'm watching right now. Microsoft's pushing, though. NVIDIA is still at 180s right now, so it's not looking healthy here. And NVIDIA is getting close to the lows. NVIDIA just cracked lows of the day. 179.85s for NVIDIA. 179.85s. It looks like me cutting that long position was probably the right move. If I move this window, does it stay? Okay, good, it does. But again, look at Netflix. NASDAQ on the right. Here's NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA break. 179s. So NVIDIA's starting to fall down here, chat. Yeah, making some swings. Again, we're kind of in the middle. Some things are moving up at the opening bell, like Microsoft has done good since the opening bell. Alphabet has done good since the opening bell. But NVIDIA just broke lows And Netflix gave some back as well. Netflix is at about $92 a share right now. So we're kind of somewhere in the middle here, to be honest. I'll give it some time. So like we did have a break of structure here on the NASDAQ. Right here. Like the short-term structure, we broke over this high. But then we fell right back down below it here. So maybe we're going to start an upward trend. I'm not sure. Again, NVIDIA breaking down at 179s. And really, we're getting kind of pushed between two different ways. Netflix popping back up, though. Google looking okay. Again, NVIDIA still chopping. I could try the VWAP bounce here, but... Bulldog pattern on the NASDAQ. I could start small here if I do buy this dip. I think I'll try small. But again, it's very small. I'll show you guys the trade. I'll add to it once if it goes in my favor, but I just want to see if the VWAP props this thing up. Kind of flat right now. Definitely red on the day, but I think with that confirmation, I just gotta sell and wait it out. There's a big pop back up. Look at this big spike here. Wow, interesting. We do have, I think it's, I don't know if it's Chicago or manufacturing PMI. Whoa, is this news related? It must be here. Look at that bounce. Oh, look at this on a 1 minute chart on the NASDAQ. Could be news related. I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point in time, to be honest. Let me check news. Spiked up and then dumped. Y'all be careful. It's Friday. We got weird price action today. U.S. seeks forfeiture of an oil tanker and 1.8 million barrels of crude oil that supported Iran and Venezuela, according to the Justice Department. Again, NVIDIA just popped a little bit here, too. Sideways open. We have a range here to attack potentially here, though. We are swinging, though, here, chat. NVIDIA rejecting at the volume-weighted average price. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with this here. Starting to creep up though. Look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is getting close to this top up here. Where's Netflix? I gotta remember I'm still in Netflix. Again, we did reject at the 200 exponential on the NASDAQ again. Right here. And NVIDIA's starting to dip back down. Man, y'all be careful. We are swinging here today. Swinging here. Maersk has seen unforeseen constraints in the Red Sea. U.S. seeks forfeiture of oil tanker and 1.8 million barrels of crude oil that supported Iran and Venezuela, according to the Justice Department. Again, the UK government staff have temporarily withdrawn from Iran. Yeah, we kind of have chopped today since the opening bell. All right, we're looking red again here, but man, we are just bouncing back and forth. NVIDIA's now under the VWAP again, though. So I did jump at a short just now. I'll put the timer up here. I'm gonna take some of this off here again. See if we can just keep breaking down right now. Take another little piece off. We're right around the volume weighted average price. I'll let the last three here run to see if we start moving back down to test lows, and I'll cover the rest break even, I think. 880s is where my entry is, so this blue line right here. Breakdown continues. Take a little bit more off here. I think it was the right time to. Although we're getting kind of close to the lows of the day here. NVIDIA rejected all the way at the VWAP and came right back down, although it is getting towards the bottom of the range here. And I'm going to let this break down, see if it breaks lows. I've already taken a lot off. Getting close enough to it, I think, to let it work. I'm trying to take longer term trades here, guys. There we go. That's lows. I'm going to take one more piece of it off right there. Anybody else is... Okay, there we go. I'm filled. Those are a little slow today on Trade of 8. There we go. Now we're testing lows. We're at lows. If we get back over 840, I'm going to sell, but I want to let this try to break down under lows here today. It's Friday. We had high PPI inflation data, rumors of war, and because of that, I think red makes more sense than green today, although we are down a lot over the last few days. All right, I'm going to move my risk up to here, about 830s. I wish a bounce. I appreciate the donation, but I don't. I wish drop. Right, there we go. We just cracked lows. There we go. Look, the drops. You love to see it. I'm going to cut it right here. I appreciate the donation, though. Thanks so much, Wolves. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just got out. I might short a pop into this though. Like a rebound back up, I might short. Alright, so we actually just jumped right back in short on this bounce. It's small though. My risk is up here at 853 or 852s. So I'll let it test 850s, but I gotta cut it right there. My fills are a little bit low. Look, I pressed the button and it still didn't fill me with a market order here, guys. There we go. It got out late. Weird. Hey, yeah, thank you for the donation, my friend. Yeah. They get Alphabet helping the market. Alphabet's up to 307s. A little bit whippy here. So, look at this bounce. Market is wild right now. Is the NASDAQ pop? If it gets rejected or continues. There's the volume weighted average price on NVIDIA at 181s. And NVIDIA has dropped a lot over the last few days. Yeah, again, we did have Chicago PMI come out. Maybe that helped markets. Chicago PMI doesn't really move markets, but it came in at 57.7 for Chicago PMI. 57.7, way stronger than expected. Again, Alphabet pushing up here. We do have construction spending data coming out, but it's not really big either. Look at this rebound in markets, guys. Wow. We're right at the 200 EMA. We'll let the test happen, but whippy price action today. Again, this is Alphabet right now. Look at Alphabet stock. What am I doing in stocks today? Okay, Netflix is still treating me good. PayPal as well. Yeah, we're rejecting again here at the top of the range. Look at these swings. Yeah, look at these swings here. These are wild swings, up and down. Like they're going up big and then they're going down big. What a whippy, crazy market here. Again, we are going to be giving away a take profit account today. We are going to be giving some away here. Again, Alphabet finally dipping down. NASDAQ rejecting right at the 200 exponential moving average here. Crazy swings back and forth here, though. These are wild. And here's the NQ. Big range, but sideways is what this is. Again, we are starting to pop back up here. If we hold up. See if the construction spending data helps us. All right, I could help it go long a little bit here. I'll show you guys this. Take a little bit more off on this bull run here. Got the upper band of the volume weighted average price right there, though. I don't want to see that rejected, so I'm going to take most of this off. And then we'll put a stop on the rest right under the 200 EMA right here. I thought I could write... Okay. Yeah. Alright, we got a stop loss set at 24,893 right here under the 200 EMA. So we'll see if it runs, but that's the last piece of the stop set. Again, so in order to participate in the Take Profit giveaway, you have to be a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber. Oh. You know, I think I'm just going to let this little one contract run here. Try to. We have our stop set. Again, our stop is set at 24,893. So right here, this blue line is where our stop is set. All right, so we just got stopped out on the rest here. But again, we are very green on the day. Up about 280. You just got to subscribe. The way I'm going to do it is the way I always do my giveaways, which is that I will put up, I'll say a random code or letter or whatever I decide to put up. And the first person to repeat it that I see on my end And it's not going to be BG or anything you'll know of. I'll have to pick a random word and then say that word out loud, and then whoever types it first. It's not going to be guess the word. It's going to be, I'm going to say the word, and then whoever types the word in chat first on my end, that I see on my end, wins. All right, I think that's probably the best way. I think it's the best way to do it. Again, I can't guarantee anybody anything. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. Look at Google here. Again, look at Netflix. Netflix is fighting its way back up. NVIDIA here, hopefully finding some support at 180s. But yeah, just a heads up, it might show up differently on y'all's end. All right. No guarantee? What the heck? Listen, we're not Walmart here. This is not Walmart, guys. I'm not Walmart here. All right. All right, look at NVIDIA start to flush. NASDAQ got rejected at the volume weighted average price. Again, we are going to sit around waiting here. Again, use promo code BG if you want to help support the channel. Everything we do is free, guys. We cover data fast. We cover it quickly. We're reliable. You know, great way to help support the channel. Use promo code BG. You want to help support us? We appreciate it. Thank you. Again, Chicago PMI is the best since May of 2022. So it showed up again at 57s versus 52 expected. And PMI data, the greater amount over 50, the stronger it is. You are Costco. That's messed up, John. I have one hand. Listen, bro, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. What can I say? You know, in the future, you might have robot hands. All right. And you might be faster than everybody. Okay. But for now, you got to take what you can get. I get it. Yeah, the giveaway is going to be after 10. After 10 a.m. Again, we're kind of swinging back and forth in markets here. But we're starting to dip maybe a little bit. Look at this drop. Again, we're creeping up. I kind of want to short 190s if we get up there. If I short 190s, I could use 925 as a risk and a reward target down at 840s. Gives me a little bit better risk and reward, but I don't know if I'm going to get 190s here. Hold on, let's see. I'm going to jump in one and then add to it if we go green, if I'm just so I don't miss 190s if we get it. There we go. I have two now. I would have gotten 190s. Maybe I should have waited for it. Yeah, I mean 890s. I'm sorry. That's what I meant is 890s. We do have construction data coming out. So we have construction spending month over month coming out in 5 minutes. I don't think it's going to move things, but it does drop in 9 minutes. So we're in two contracts now. It's still pretty small here. Again, I'm looking for 840s though. I could either add to this or I could leave it alone. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm going to set my stop up there. Not where I set my stop. Oh, 910. Okay, it worked. All right, good. Give me the VWAP down here. I want 840s. We're at 860s right now. Yeah, if you want to take part of the in the giveaway, hit the live button next to the play button, put it in 2x speed. I'm gonna take one off right here just because I can. And we got 850s. That's probably close enough to 840s. Still good risk reward here. All the rest break even. I still like 840s though. And no matter what, we're gonna make money. I'm gonna cut it right there and get out. Not a bad trade. We got out in time. Just attack the sideways rangy market is what I just did. Again, NASDAQ's been rangy. Here's a sideways range we've had since PPI data came out. Or since the opening bell. I mean, NASDAQ's been sideways. So. Yeah, again, we do the giveaway after 10 o'clock market time. Again, most day traders lose money, guys. Most day traders lose money. So it doesn't make any sense to fund your own account thousands of dollars. Again, most day traders are just going to lose. And so it just doesn't make sense, right? Funding your own account thousands of dollars, trying to look cool, just doesn't make sense. Instead, again, try Top Step. You know, try Take Profit. Try Apex. You know, all good. They're all good. If you want to try Take Profit, promo code BG. Again, you can check out the link pinned to the top of the chat. Or did I pin it to the top of the chat? I didn't. Here, I'll pin it to the top of the chat right now. Use promo code BG, get 40% off. Take Profit's great because there's no activation fees. Super relaxed funding rules. Again, super relaxed funding rules. Great way to learn. Great way to learn. Apex is cheapest accounts, basically, is what I see. 80% off right now. Great way to learn as well. Both really useful. You can use my promo code BG. You can also use the promo code BT for Lucid. Somebody took my BG code for Lucid if you like Lucid, which is kind of one of the newer up-and-coming ones. So whichever one you use, you know, we appreciate it. All right, guys, so here's the construction spending data. It's not huge data. I'll watch NASDAQ and NVIDIA to see if it moves markets. Again, it comes out in about 30 seconds or so. It's expected at 0.2% month for construction spending versus 0.5% last time. But again, I do not think this is going to move markets. Yeah, Apex is like... Last time I bought an account, even with... It was the 90% off sale that just ended, but it was like $40, $30 an account. All right, guys, here we go. 15 seconds. 10 seconds, really. Hit the live button next to the play button, put it in 2x speed. Construction spending ended up showing up at... Drops right now. Ended up showing up at... Let's see. I don't see it up yet. Hold on. It was expected at 0.2%. Yeah, I don't even see the data coming out today for construction spending. I was supposed to. I don't see it reported anywhere. Again, Chicago PMI, the highest since 2022, 57.7. Construction spending 0.3%, slightly higher than expected. A little bit. It's more obscure data, so it comes out a little bit later here, guys. Again, 0.3% versus 0.2% expected. I don't think it's going to move markets, but that's 10 o'clock in the 10 o'clock today. Yeah. Crypto on the edge. Yeah, Bitcoin here, guys. Back over 66,000 though, but still. Again, here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin actually shot up just now. But Bitcoin back over 66,000. It was at 65s when I first looked at it this morning. It's back over that now. still in this long? How am I still in this long? Hold on, wait. How am I in a long right now, dude? I don't even know why I'm in a long. How I'm in a long right now. I'm in a long right now. Oh, I think my cover stop hit for the buy order. I'll take it. As long as it doesn't turn green or turn red on me. But I had my stop, which is a buy stop because I was shorting. So I was covering it with a buy at 9.10 and it filled me at 9.10 on the long side. I forgot to cancel it. Hey, luck is better than skill sometimes, guys. I'll take the free $20, $30 here if we go. I didn't mean to get in this trade. I'm going to get out with a $30 profit. Accidental $30. That's always good. Always good. They call me Long John Silver. You know. Because I accidentally went... I should have traded silver, maybe. Ooh. Alright. Should have held that thing too, but I didn't mean to get into the trade. Again, NASDAQ up to 24,940s. I'm watching 25,000 right above us. I am watching 25K. I collect Pokemon cards with my son. Get your mind out the gutter, guy. Get your mind out the gutter, bro. The VIX is falling. Yeah, the NASDAQ's pushing up, so the VIX is going to be going down here. Why not? Bitcoin is good equity. Yeah, again, Monday we have ISM manufacturing PMI. Tuesday we have ISM services. And we have ADP employment data for the month. 8/15 Wednesday. Thursday we have Challenger job cuts at 7:30. Import-export prices and more. Friday, non-farm payrolls, unemployment data coming out next week. So next week's actually a pretty big week as well. We have the labor report next week on Friday. So, and then the week after that, we have CPI inflation, which is bigger than PPI. So, and again, if you want to use my Apex code, again, link is in the description. Just check it out. All right, guys, y'all ready for this giveaway? So again, also, you got to join our Discord. You got to join our Discord because I need your email address. And so, unless you want to give your email address to everybody here, yeah, not gonna work. And so here, join our Discord or give it away here. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. Look, there's our Discord link. Join it. Challenger job cuts is gonna be... Thursday next week. Lucid code is BT, STEM, BT. John, giving up trading to be an information broker selling data. One email address, guys. One email address, you know. All right, guys. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the giveaway? Yeah, you can join the Discord after you win. All right, guys. So listen, you guys ready for the giveaway? Yes or no in chat right now. I'm gonna give away. Let me see what kind of account this is. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Yeah, let me check to see what kind of account this is. Hold on. Okay, it's going to be a $50,000 account. 50K account on Take Profit. All right, so a 50K account. We might do more giveaways next week. But it's going to be a $50,000 account. All right, guys. So again, I'm going to preface this giveaway with these understanding of rules here. Whoever it is on my end first wins. Okay? Because of latency things, you might be first on your end, but on my end, it reflects something differently. And I'm going to take a picture of who's first on my end so you know I'm not full of crap. I'm not full of it. So you know I'm telling the truth. I'm just going to take a picture. Whoever says whatever word I decide, you know, they're going to be the ones who wins. It might be different on your end. It doesn't matter. We have no guarantees here. This is not Costco. This is not Walmart. All right. All right. So again, I'm going to say a word first. And then the first person to repeat that word back to me in chat wins. Okay. That's the giveaway. Y'all are just guessing words. Don't guess the word. I'm going to say the word first. All right. All right. Let's be serious here. All right. Again, y'all guessing words don't matter. The word for the giveaway. Again, we have no guarantees, not an investment professional. I'm going to put this disclaimer up real quick. But the word for the giveaway, and I'm kind of keeping you guys in suspense to mess with you, partly. Understand all this stuff on screen. I'm not an investment professional. Can't guarantee anything. Entertainment purposes only, not investment advice. We're not liable if you lose, all that good stuff. Don't copy me. With that said, the word of the giveaway is Friday. Friday is the word. First person to repeat Friday back wins. Okay, wait. It was KT Mesh is the winner. That's the first person on my end. Here, look. Everybody else is late. I'm sorry. Again, this guy right here. Where'd he go? KT Mesh wins. He's the first person on my end. Again, you might show somebody different on your end. That's okay. But KT Mesh wins. So good job, bro. Good job. You were quick. Nice job. That is you. He cheated. I was robbed. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I was first. I know it might show differently. I got to go with my end here. Joker close second. Yeah, that's right. I was first. Everybody's saying they were first on their end. Look, I'm sorry, guys. KT, you win, brother. You win, man. Again, or sir, or ma'am. Again, if you want to just comment in the main day trading chat of our Discord, I'll send you a message and get you set up, brother. Good job. You won, man. John, get a better internet connection. I promise you, Tony, my internet's better than yours. You know, I've got a 2 gig internet connection. I got 2,000 megabits per second, bro. So you get better internet, dude. Again, some of you guys are still typing Friday. I'm just going to let you guys know y'all are way behind. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed, guys. I say this every day. Hit the live next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. Y'all are really late. Liberty, Freddy. Yeah, y'all are really late. Yeah, half of you guys are like... Sunday, yeah. My ping is like 1 or 2, I think. $20.29. Yeah, NASDAQ back up here though, guys. NVIDIA back up. If you didn't win the giveaway, that's okay. That's all right. I will tell you, chat. You can always sign up using my codes BG. BG. If you lose Lucid, it's BT. But don't worry about that one. BT if you like Lucid. BG for Apex and take profit. Yeah, so The winner today, guys. The winner, which is KT Mesh. Again, make sure you send me a picture of you logged in, so I know it's not you and not some guy trying to scam it or whatever. And then, I'll send you a message, send me your email, I'll get you set up, bro. Yeah, again, they installed fiber optic in my area not that long ago. I had Comcast, and I freaking hate Comcast, dude. Comcast was like, I have two main enemies in my life. All right, two nemesises, if you will. One of them is Comcast. Never will I like that company ever. Lock you into contracts, promise you the world, tell you it's going to be $100 a month. Next 2 months, bill's $300. You're like, yo, y'all locked me in at $100 a month. They will deny it. They're just doing whatever they can to lock you in. Hate Comcast. Hate Comcast. My other main nemesis is in life. I don't know if I've ever met you. I don't know if, I don't know if you're a good person or not. But if you ride around on main roads, blocking traffic on a bicycle in spandex and a futuristic helmet, just know you're my enemy for life. You're my enemy for life. How dare you? I don't care if it's legal. Inconsiderate, dude. Get out of there, man. Go ride on a normal road, bro. Don't block a main street in spandex riding a bicycle, because you want to look cool. All right, get out of here. Nemesis for life. All right. Anyways. Yeah. All right, I'm still waiting for my guy to join the Discord here. Join the Discord, KT Mesh. I don't know if you're in there or not. Join the Discord. Again, here's the Discord link if you need it again. Yeah, look at NVIDIA rejecting at the 200 exponential. Is that you, Lee? Again, I don't have a problem if you like riding bike. Again, my family and I call them bikelers, is what we call them. Again, enemy for life. I'm not mad if you want to ride a bicycle in spandex. I'm mad if you're doing it on like a really main road, like a really heavy traffic road. Like, dude, number one, it's dangerous. Like, what are you doing? Number two, there's better roads to do that on. Don't block a freaking main highway or a frontage road on a bicycle, dude. Get out of there. Again, NASDAQ rejecting just under 25,000. The question is, does it bounce here? Yeah, if KT Mesh is a bot, Joker is the winner because he was second on my end. Yeah, you can also just email me at beginnertrading@gmail.com. Check it out if you want. Yeah, I'm not mad at you, Brahmo. Yeah, Sublimed, you are number 3. You are number 3. I'm in Netflix right now. KT Mesh, I am real. Okay, I believe you, brother. Well, again, I need your email, friend. Did you join the Discord? If not, oh, there you are. Okay, you're in here. Again, just post a picture of you using that account right now. And by Monday, I'll get you set up in your account. Yeah, I'm in Netflix at 70s. AI would say that too. That's true. That's robot talk. Yeah, it could be. As long as he's a friendly robot, he still wins. I mean, as long as you're a friendly robot, I'm okay with it. We'll allow it as long as you're friendly. All right, guys. Again, Monday next week. Should be a fun day. Yeah, we got you in there. That's all good. All right, look at the NVIDIA chart coming back down. It is dragging the NASDAQ down with us here some. Yeah, again, there's rumors of war overseas. Yeah, there's rumors of stuff overseas. Oh wait, with Lucid, guys, apparently if you're trying to use Lucid, I don't know if it'll let you use my code. You could use this code right here for Lucid. So yeah, there's Lucid if you want to check it out. All right, guys, I am going to get out of here. I'm not just kind of hanging out too long today. We are going to get out of here. And so, again, I am going to be getting out of here. Look at the NASDAQ dip, though, so we are coming back down. And again, I'm bearish in sentiment today just because I think if we do have what's going on over the weekend that people are worried about, then maybe we could get drops leading into it. And I think that makes sense. Again, we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Get NVIDIA back up to 181. It is bouncing, though, at the volume weighted average price. We'll see if it holds. All right, guys. Again, I'm going to cut out of here. Y'all be safe. Again, we will be back Monday the 2nd. We are right under 25,000. Let's see if that level holds. See you next month. Yeah. Yeah, wait here until Monday, guys. Wait here. Rumor has it I might still be live on Monday. I'm just trying to make sure my redirect is working here. It should be. All right, guys. Yeah, y'all have a great weekend. Beginnertrading@gmail.com, KT. I'd rather you join Discord though, brother. Because okay, there you are. Yeah, I just messaged you. I said, hey, it's me. Post a pic of you logged into YouTube. So, if you're on Discord, I got you. Y'all have a great weekend. Again, remember, I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Again, have a great weekend. Y'all be safe.